Hey guys, what's up? Matt here again with another video for you. Today we're going to take a close look at my pedal board. What's a pedal board, I hear you ask? Well, stay tuned to find out more. So a pedal board, what am I talking about? If you're a guitar guy, if you're a gear nerd, you've probably watched videos like this on YouTube before. I myself have probably watched hundreds of pedal board walkthroughs. This is not a traditional pedal board walkthrough, and the reason being is nobody's ever come up to me and said, what sort of pedal are you using? What sort of delay pedal are you using? Where do you get your overdrive sounds from? No. The questions I get asked are, what on earth are you doing up there with your feet? Why do every time I watch you play, you're stamping around, tapping around like you're trying to do some sort of dance? So that's what I'm going to address today. So we're going to go down onto the floor, have a look at what I have on the floor and just exactly what I'm doing with my feet when I'm playing live. So I'll see you down there. Okay. Hey guys, right, here we are down on the floor with my pedal board. Now, like I said, this is not going to be a typical pedal board walkthrough. I'm not going to go through in intricate detail exactly what each pedal does and review every feature on it. I'm also not going to explain why I picked, say, this Boss tuner over another alternative. This video is not aimed really at those who are interested in gear. This is more to explain to those who keep asking me, like I said earlier, what am I doing with my feet? Why am I always tapping stuff with my feet on the floor? Let's get into it though. Let's look at what I've got on the floor. If you're not familiar with pedals and what these are guitar effect pedals. Some of them change the sound that the guitar produces. Some of them add delay so that the signal repeats itself. Some of them add overdrive or distortion so it sounds fatter, dirtier. Some of them really don't do anything noticeable to you, but they're very useful to me. So let's get into it. So out of my guitar, I run a cable straight out of the output of the guitar into this little white pedal here. And this is a tuner pedal. Perfect example of a pedal that does nothing really. It doesn't change the sound. It doesn't make it any different. All it simply does is it's a meter basically. I play a note, the pedal tells me what note that is. But it also tells me how far off pitch it is so that I can adjust and tune the guitar so that you don't get any of those annoying out of tune notes during the service, during your performances. So this is a very good one. This is a Boss tuner. Some say the industry standard. I like it very much. Out of that tuner, I go into this little blue pedal here. Now I leave this on virtually all the time. And what this is a compressor and a sustainer. Now compression specifically is a very complicated topic, but to make it very simple, all it does is it takes some of the loud notes and makes them quieter, and it takes some of the quieter notes and makes them louder. It evens out the volume, it evens out the sound, and it also has a sustain feature, so it will hold out some of the notes a bit longer. It does very little, and to the untrained ear you won't notice any difference. I mean, I've had this on my board for about a year. It doesn't do a whole lot. The big thing that it does really is it takes a lot of the boominess out of the low notes and flattens them out, but definitely not an essential pedal for you to have on your board. Probably the first one that I would get rid of if I had to get rid of something. Out of that blue pedal, out of the compressor, I go over here into this foot switch pedal. Now this is a simple volume pedal. So when my pedal is down like this, the guitar basically is off. And when it's all the way down, it's on. It acts exactly like a volume knob on the guitar itself. But it can be a lot easier to operate with your feet because your hands might be doing all sorts of stuff. So, very handy pedal. Out of the volume pedal, we go into this little white pedal here, which is my first stage overdrive pedal. First stage meaning it's the first little bit, if I want to add a little bit of grit or a little bit of gain, just something to crunch up the sound a little bit, that's where we go first. At the moment it's set quite low, so all it really does is turn the volume up just a little bit. Just, you know, with this pedal, with the volume pedal all the way down, you could say I'm at level 10. Engaging this pedal takes me to 11. Out of that pedal I go into this big purple pedal, and that is really more of a distortion pedal. So this white one really just boosts me up just to here. The purple one is really like a big distortion drive sound, and I would use this white one just to get me a bit more volume on lead playing, just to cut me through the mix a bit more. And this purple one I would use if I really want to cut through the mix, or for more of a rhythm tone. Out of that purple one we go into my favorite pedal on the pedal board, and that is the Strymon Timeline, which is a delay pedal. Now if you're not familiar with delay pedals, all they do is take an input, so they take me playing a chord, a note, whatever, and depending on how I set it up, it will repeat that. It might repeat it in tempo with the song. Hopefully it's in tempo with the song. This particular one can do a whole lot of different stuff. It's got multiple different types of delay, repeat, echo, whatever you want to call it. But anything where you hear me play and then you hear a note followed up, you hear the same note sort of tail off afterwards, that's coming from that. Great pedal. Out of that pedal we go into another one which you can't quite see, it's just off camera. Might have to shift this over just to here. This one here is a modulator pedal. This is like a multi-effects pedal, and it has really 3 or 4 main functions that I use. A chorus, which I'll demo through later, so if you don't know what a chorus sounds like, we'll go through that. A tremolo, where you get those nice wavy cut-offs. A phaser, a flanger, a whole bunch of different stuff. So this is really like the real color, anything that sort of colors the sound quite a lot is coming out of this one. And then lastly, out of that pedal into this blue one up the top here, which is a reverb pedal. This adds nice spacey, echoey reverb, room type sounds to my guitar sound. Out of that I run a cable out the other side of this into the guitar amplifier, which is backstage, and that is all that's going on. Now if you know what pedal boards are and you're used to seeing these sorts of things, then that may be really helpful, and hopefully you found that really cool. But if you're not, some of this stuff may have just gone straight over your head. So why don't we get up now, I'll plug a guitar in, I'll walk you through just what each one sounds like and just what it could do. We won't go in depth into all the features, but just give you a sample of what they could do. So I'll go grab a guitar, we'll plug in, and we'll have a listen. Alright, we're back. I've got my guitar, I've got the pedal board on the floor still, and we'll go through these pedals now and just give you a brief overview of just what they could do, and so you have a better understanding of what I'm doing when I'm tap dancing up there on the stage. So here's my guitar. We've got a cable, it comes out of the cable into this Boss tuning pedal on the floor, and as you can see, it doesn't, if it's engaged like it is here, nothing, no signal. Turn it off, there it is. Turn it back on, and all it's doing is telling me what note I'm playing and how close to actually being on pitch that note is. So if I play an E, pretty close, an A, a D, and so on. So all it's doing is just keeping me in tune. Although I should clarify, it's not actually doing anything except telling me what I'm putting into it. So it's not tuning my guitar. If my A string, for example, is out, it's going to tell me it's out, and it's going to stay out until I twist this back up to being in tune. So out of that tuner we go into this compressor. So here's the sound with the compressor off, and with the compressor on, very, very small difference. The only thing that really pokes out at me straight away is that these low notes are definitely quieter. That's with it off, that's with it on. But they do sustain a little bit better. Now I have it on a pretty medium sort of setting, so there's nothing extreme going on. But even on that setting, I can still hear those notes hold out just a bit longer. Out of that, we go into the volume pedal over here, which, as I said before, acts like a very simple volume pedal, a volume switch on the guitar itself. So with it all the way down, nothing, but I can bring it in, and with it all the way up, there it is. So what I use it for is killing the attack on these, killing this part so I can swell into notes. But essentially, again, not an essential pedal, but now you know what it does. Out of that, into the first stage overdrive. So, clean signal with an overdrive on, a little bit of grit starts to come in. Very handy if I'm playing something that I just want to cut through the mix a bit better. Versus dead dry. Now I could crank this up, it's set very low, but I don't use it as a drive pedal so much. I'm not trying to use the overdriven sound in it. I just use it to boost my volume just a little bit. Out of that, we go into my next drive pedal, which is really more of a distortion pedal. So clean sound, distortion sound, a lot grittier. And quite often I'll throw the first stage in front of it as well, and that just boosts up a little bit better. Couple of nice pedals together. When I put those two pedals together, that's where I get my real lead tones from. So out of those, we go into my delay pedal. Now my dry signal is just like this. It's just as soon as I stop, it stops. But if I engage the delay, even when I stop, it keeps going, so I can keeps going. So I've got this particular pedal has the ability to store presets and store multiple settings, so I could have any number of delay sounds preset for different songs. That one's a bit slower, but it's set up to sync with the song This Is Our God. And as you can see, it fits quite nicely with that. A lot of features on this pedal. We don't have time to go through all of them, but a great pedal. Out of that, we go into my sort of fun pedal. So this pedal over here, this is called the Nova Modulator, and it can do a whole lot of different stuff. We'll start at the moment, it's set in a basic tremolo. We can make that attack a lot more as well. But it also does other things like chorus. can do a flanger or a phaser. Let's try a phaser. Up to one of my favorites, which is the vibrato setting. As you can hear, a lot of these are not particularly useful on a lot of songs, and I don't engage this pedal on every single song. In fact, there's plenty of weeks where it doesn't get turned on at all. But when I need that tremolo sound or that chorus sound, that nice lush chorus, it's a perfect pedal for that. And then the last pedal on the floor is the reverb pedal. Now this pedal, like the delay pedal, has a whole bunch of different settings and features which I kind of don't get into a whole lot of them. I tend to leave it on one or two and they work fine. So here's a dry signal without any reverb. And we can chuck some reverb on it, turn this pedal on. You can hear it's kind of, you get a whole bunch of echo reverb like you're in a cave. Very nice effect if you've got you just fill out a lead part really well. Okay, so there you have it. That's my pedal board. That's a brief explanation of just exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing all that tap dancing on the floor. So hopefully that helps. If you have any more questions or comments, please leave them below. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video for more content just like this. Thanks for watching.